Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Las Vegas. I'm Heather Ferris and I am your unofficial host for the Star Trek Las Vegas 2019. We are coming at you live with interviews, trivia, cosplay, combat, game shows, interactive segments, and more. If you don't want to miss out, then remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and always make sure so that way you'll always be sure you get the latest videos and live streams. So today we have something really special. I'm really excited. We get to interview Russ Emanuel. Now, did I pronounce your last name right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. So, you are very active in the movie industry, and your IMDb shows that you are a man of many talents. You do a lot. I'm pretty impressed.
Thank you.
So, what film are you currently working on right now?
Well, right now I'm working on a film called The Assassin's Apprentice 2. It stars Armin Shimmerman, who's Quark on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It stars Sean Kenny, who was the crippled Captain Pike on the original Star Trek series. He's actually a good friend of mine. I'm working with Tracy Lee Coco, who was Lieutenant J on The Next Generation. She was like in 70 plus episodes. So she plays a character who, it's an homage to my first, the short film that got me funding for my first feature film. So her character is Gwen, named after Gwen Hunter, from Girl with Gun, my short film. So, yeah, she's amazing. I love her. And then we're working with Gary Graham, who's I think Lieutenant. Ambassador Saval, right? Vulcan Ambassador Saval in Star Trek Enterprise. But he's also known for Alien Nation. So we're working on that project right now. We're actually filming in. We're going to be filming in the Canary Islands. So we shot the first part of the film in the good part of Compton. I have to mention that. But it's the warehouse district of Compton in March of this year. And then we're going to be shooting the Canary Islands. So the producer, writer of the film, the brainchild, is Paul Hickman. And Paul hired me to do the first Assassin's Apprentice. And this is a sequel to the first one. And the first one, by the way, had Marina Sirtis and Robert Picardo. And both films have Tara Page, who's our lead actress. She plays Kaylee, and she's amazing. So, yeah. And then the other film is called Whisper. Whisper is Wisper, and that's my fifth feature film. Okay. And we're about a month away from completion. So we just have to do color correction and the final sound mix, and then we're done with the film. And my producer, his name is Howard Nash, who's basically the producer of all my feature films. He really loves it. So you see, my job is to direct the actors, and then my job is to please my producers. So if I please my producers and they're happy, then I'm happy.
That sounds like it could be a little tricky, is it?
It can be, but I've done this for 17 years, and I love making films. For me, it's like film music. I mean, we're here at Star Trek, right? The Star Trek Vegas. Two of my favorite composers are Star Trek composers, James Horner and Jerry Goldsmith. And also John Williams, who is not a Star Trek composer, but I grew up with those three. And just, the music really touches me. And for me, the composer is like the unseen actor. So I pay special attention to music.
Oh, wow. That's really amazing. So it sounds like you have been very fortunate that you were able to work with all of these Star Trek actors. And it sounds like not just this film, but other films in your past. So basically, can you tell us a little bit more about what it was like to work with these legends? And also, were you a Star Trek fan before you met them? So did you sort of go in there like fanboying in a way?
Well, this is how much I'm a Star Trek fan. I own all 178 episodes of The Next Generation on VHS. Yeah, that's before DVD. So yes, I did grow up watching Star Trek, and yes, it is. I guess surreal is the best word to put it. To be able to direct somebody like Marina Sirtis, who I grew up watching, and I have grown up watching her as a kid. So, but when I direct Marina or Bob Picardo or Sean Kenny or Armin Shimmerman, any of them, I'm not a Trekkie. I'm their director, and so I direct them. Basically, I researched their other roles. Like Marina was in The Grudge 3. Bob was in Joe Dante's films, The Wonder Years. Armin was in Buffy. So I do that research because, I know an actor wants to do something different, and I know Armin doesn't want to play Quark in my film. I get it, I totally get it. And Bob doesn't want to play the Doctor, right? And Marina wants to play somebody else. So for me, what I do is when I direct any of them, I always say, I ask them, I tell them, this is what I think this is your backstory to your character. And I say, do you have any questions for me? And they may answer questions, or they may say, no, I don't have any questions, And then I say, okay, I like, whatever mannerisms you have that's natural to you, incorporate it into your character. And that makes, I think, at least for me, a more natural performance. So that's what I do.
So does that mean that you guys all get together one night and have like game nights so that way you could get to know their personalities more and you would be able to better direct them?
Well, yeah, I meant it's either a phone call or I meet up with them for a coffee or, whatever. I've been to like Bob's house before he sold it. It depends, it really depends, of the circumstances. Sometimes these actors are busy. They're really busy. I think Bob is in London right now. I think he's coming here, but I know he was doing a play in London. He lives, I think, in New York. So, I don't want to, be a burden, if you will. I want to, I want them to be happy. I want them to feel comfortable with me as the director. So I'm pretty easygoing that way, I guess, with every actor. I love rehearsals. We have rehearsals. They love that too. With Bob, I've worked with him 6 times. And he likes to maybe tweak the script, but still, staying within the parameters of the script with the lines, and I'm okay with that. And so are my producers, because it's again for the most natural performance, and Bob, he gives really good. His performances are amazing. So I have been very honored to work with people like Bob.
That's cool. So when you do that, is there any improv and is there any funny moments that you guys are just falling on the floor laughing, just rolling?
Well, Armin, he has a line in Assassin's Apprentice 2, and it's similar to the rules of acquisition. And he accidentally said the rules of acquisition. And it's one of the bloopers that will show up on the DVD when we, and, he had a laugh. And then he asked me, he basically, he says, I'm so sorry, and it's really funny. He's a really nice guy. So, there are funny moments like that.
That's cool. So basically get the DVD so you could see all of these bloopers. So if people do want to get this DVD, where can they buy it?
Well, what I suggest is if you go to TAAmovie.com, or you go to our Facebook page, which I think is also TAA Movie, facebook.com TAA Movie. If you go to our Indiegogo or Kickstarter campaigns, I think with our Indiegogo campaign, you could still do the in-demand thing, and then they have options to get the DVD. So, you could purchase it that way. Now, we're still about a year away from completion, so we still have to do more pickup shots, and then, of course, post-production like music, sound design, visual effects. So we're still filming.
Okay.
But we will definitely have a DVD. We did with.
For the viewers out there who haven't seen it, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, that was my school project I did in high school for my senior year. I was going to a school in Japan, an international school called Canadian. Our senior year, we had to basically put our time, effort, and maybe some of our money into doing something that I guess was kind of extraordinary. So what I decided to do was a Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It's from, I think, Star Trek Communicator or something. They were like $75 each. Whatever the material, it holds up. So, I can't fit into it anymore, but it holds up. So my actors wore them, and then it was fun. Copies or something. This was back in 1995, and because of that film, and again, it's a Deep Space Nine episode, and then it was able to get me into USC, the pun, but it got me into USC Cinema, so I was very happy about that. So where can you see it? I don't know. To be honest, it's just my school project.
So basically you're saying Star Trek got you to the point where you're at today, where you're actually directing Star Trek actor. We're going to high school in Japan. So now you grew up in Japan and the U.S. At the same time, right? How old were you when you were in both countries, and what was that like?
Well, I was actually born in Alameda, California. Yes, I know that's again another pun, Star Trek 4. But I was born in Alameda. I really was. The Alameda 1 year, and then we moved back, and I think then we moved down to Southern California, like Long Beach, Los Alamitos area. And then from 8th grade to 12th grade, I went to the school I was mentioning, Canadian Academy in Kobe, Japan. And then I went to USC. I studied abroad for 1 year in Nanzan University in Nagoya, Japan. Then came back, graduated, took some UCLA extension courses, met my filmmaking partner, Emil Harris. Emil Harris is, I've worked with him for 17 years. So he's right now, we worked from 2002 onwards. So he's right now the editor of Assassin's Apprentice 2. He's the director of photography and editor of Whisper.
Okay.
And at the Las Cruces International Film Festival, it was actually really surreal because was it R.J. Mitty and Billy Boyd were in the audience when I won. I mean, it was very, very. I mean, this film really took off for me, but it took me like 15 years to get to that point. But that has Robert Picardo.
Oh, that's
So if you're interested in watching a film of mine, it's on Amazon Prime. It's on Tubi TV. It's free. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free. If you want to watch it, it's 81 minutes, and whoever does watch it, I hope you enjoy it.
That is so awesome. So you guys have got to check that out. That is really, really cool. And now, I know this is a little silly, but is your Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode on YouTube for people to see?
17-year-old version of me, and I've watched it in retrospect, and it's not very good. So I guess it was good enough for USC.
Ooh, that's cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you spending your time doing this interview.
Keep up the good work, and your new phone has a better camera.
A Facebook account, some way people could follow you?
Yeah, if you go to russem.com or ussem.com, you could see links to all my films, including my 5 feature films, The Assassin's Apprentice. If you go to occupantsthemovie.com, there are links to the Twitter, YouTube, Instagram accounts, Facebook pages, and all that. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it. And I hope anybody who's out there who's been listening to me, I hope I was somewhat enjoyable watching, maybe.
No, very, very, very much so. Oh, and before we go, award, I should say.
Oh, yeah. So there's a festival going on called the Action Film International Film Festival in its 15th year. And our trailer for my 5th feature film, Whisper, is up for Best Trailer. So the film's not done. The Brendan Theaters at the Palms, that's where it's going to be screening tonight at 11 p.m.
Cool. Break a leg. I hope you guys do well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and just a quick reminder to the viewers out there that we are supported by you. Donations make it possible for all of these videos to be brought to you for free. If you think that this video was worth more than $0, then please donate the amount that you think it is worth in the description below. And that does it for our show. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be live streaming all day, so expect live streams all day. We have so much planned for you guys. It's going to be so much fun. So, until then, join us.